My name is Huckleberry Finn. I'm the friend of that clever kid who gave another kid an apple to paint a fence for him, and I just went through one hell of a journey. It was fun, scary, long, and adventurous. But I suppose you wouldn't be learning anything if I tell you how it was. So instead of telling you, I'm going to go on ahead and show you in this episode of Huck vs. Wild. I lived in a small town with a house that was good enough. One thing important to know is that you gotta respect your home. I lived with the widow Douglas and her sister Miss Watson. They were strict but still cared for me. My main complaint about them is their idea of civilizing me, and I still don't have a ganner's tale of what that word means. Remember that clever kid with the apple fence thingamajig I talked about earlier? Yeah, there was one time where he made a
gang. We'll call it Tom Sawyer's gang, led by yours truly. We gotta rob and kill people, and maybe even ransom them sometimes.
But Tom, what does ransom mean?
I don't know. We'll just ransom them to death, I guess.
Alright, sounds good. Anyhow, I thought I had no family, but then Lucifer thought it were a good idea to send my own pap back into my room. Or rather, he never died.
After a while, your hobbies and your developments made you think that you're better than your old pap, didn't they? I heard you could read and write and do some math. Is that true? Well, that widow already told me everything. So let me ask you something. What the hell are you doing? Family chain, and oh boy, I think it's time I put you in your place.
After a bunch of arguments with Judge Thatcher and thrice as many shots of alcohol, my pap took me to a cabin and kept me there.
Go open my doors. Get in that room. In the back. Keep going.
My lifestyle during that time was hunting, swimming, sleeping, and that's it. And the sleep weren't even that good. I had to sleep on the floor with a blanket in an empty room, with literally nothing. One time I was able to cut a hole in the floor with an old saw I found stuck in the ceiling. To make sure Pap wouldn't notice, I put rocks under where the hole was and covered the top with my blanket. And finally came the day where he went off and I had the opportunity to leave that hellhole.
Alright son, I'm gonna go hunting. I'll be back in a few hours.
I left from that hole I made earlier and found a way to make Pap stop going after me. I killed a pig and took its blood and meat and shoved it down the river. To finish it off, I pulled my hair out and put it there so that it looks like my own head. I just made a murder scene. I then took a canoe I made earlier, grabbed my things, and went on my way to Jackson's Island. It's been mighty peaceful so far, and I don't reckon anyone would think to come to this area. I've mainly been lying and walking around, but then I found a campfire site. I snuck behind a bush to make sure nobody could see me from there. There was only one man, and he were dead asleep. Pretty soon, he gapped and stretched himself and hove off the blanket, and it was Miss Watson's Jim. Hello, Jim.
Ah! Who that? What? That you, Huck? You ain't a ghost?
No, I'm not dead, Jim. I faked it. I'm a god-dang genius. Oh, I'm so happy to see you again, Jim. Jim and I became best friends after our reunion. We'd just lie down together and look at the stars. That was until we were interrupted by two very despicable men, claiming to be something they could never be in their measly lives. Oh, hey, a village. Huh, that's nice.
Help us, kind sir. We are in dire need of your assistance. There happen to be an animal.
Oh, are those dogs? Alright, okay, hop on.
I will reveal it to you, for I feel I may have confidence in you. By rights, I am a Duke of England. Well, it appears that we are in a similar situation indeed.
Row ahead. I have family.
Oh, do you now?
Sure.
The so-called family he was in was quite friendly, actually. There were quite a bit of dull moments, though, one of them being in a funeral for one of the king's friends, or rather, the friend of the guy that the king was acting as.
This morning, I woke up to some... My benefactor, who hugely shaped my view on life, work, and many other things, has passed away. I've never met someone as equally impressive and smart and grounded. It is not that common at this stage of our careers to have professors who have shaped our intellect, interest, and life in general. But my mentor did that. While we were originally brought together for academic purposes, I soon began to learn from his views and perspectives and his wealth of knowledge that will always be fundamental for my understanding of this world. I hope that everyone with such people cross their paths, never take people like my mentor for granted. I certainly never did and never will. You carve your name on hearts, not tombstones.
Eventually, Jim and I were able to escape. So in 2 seconds away, we went a-sliding down the river, and it did seem so good to be free again and all by ourselves in the big river, and nobody to bother us. I had to skip around a bit and jump up and crack my heels a few times. I couldn't help it. But about the third crack, I noticed a sound that I knowed mighty well. They came back. So they stuck around with us a bit more, and I was about to escape from them again once and for all. But there was one major problem. Jim was gone. Hello, Duke. Wait, where did Jim go?
Oh, why, yes. I believe I know exactly what happened to him. I think our king sold him to a farmer downstream for $40, I believe.
The king?
Yes. King Francis III, was it? I don't remember.
Okay.
Well, good luck. Maneuver, I suppose.
Darn it. How am I gonna...
Goodbye. Have a nice...
Should I go back and get him? Or was it a sin of me to even try to... Dang damn it, I'm gonna go to hell if I have to. I'm gonna go get him. I went to the farm of Aunt Sally to get my Nogger back. I also had the legendary Tom Sawyer accompany me, since he's good at this stuff. We ended up finding out that Jim was in the ash hopper, and after Jim sung out of happiness, his god came in. Tom Sawyer, however, was able to get through it by acting and saying,
Well, that's mighty curious. Who sung out? When did he sing out? What did he sing out?
and turns to me perfectly calm and says,
Did you hear anybody sing out?
I did not hear anybody sing out. We ended up digging a hole and sawing the leg of the bed with the chain on it, doing a whole lot of unnecessary things to get Jim out, all because Tom said we had to do it the regular way. We even threatened the farm, saying a dangerous Indian gang were going to steal Jim from them. Because of that, we almost got killed by a group of farmers. Come in. Run, 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 run. Okay, alright. After barely escaping one piece, or rather 3 pieces, We had to redo the whole thing since we got recaptured, but we were fine at the end. In the end, we were all satisfied. We got away from our old homes so we could head in the direction of our real home. But I reckon I got to light off for the territory ahead of the rest, because Aunt Sally, she's going to adopt me and civilize me, and I can't stand it. I've been there before. And that's all I have for you all in this episode. I'm Huckleberry Finn, and I'll see you in the next episode of Huck vs. Wild.